Inhale the right leg up above the head. Bring that right knee forward. Place the foot between the hands. And from here, cartwheel the hands. Take your left arm, cartwheel it up into Warrior Two. You can adjust the feet here. Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited to share with you today's video. I'm going to talk a little bit more about minimalism, and I just appreciate all the wonderful comments and the great feedback you've shared with me so far on the past videos on this. I'm really excited to talk about minimalism from a health perspective and how I have witnessed minimalism to be really health promoting in my life and in the lives of those with whom I have the privilege to work with. So today I want to share with you minimalism from a diet point of view, from a nutrition point of view, and how minimalism can actually help up-level your nutrition significantly. Today I want to share with you 5 ways in which minimalism does just that. So number one of the reasons people are so drawn to minimalism is the sense of freedom that you feel as you are buying less things that you don't really need. You feel a sense of freedom, a sense of liberation. Whenever anybody declutters or downsizes and you're becoming minimalist around any aspects of your belongings, whether it's your clothes, your kitchen utensils, I always ask this question: do you feel freed up or do you feel restricted? The amount of clothes that you've brought down to, does that make you feel more free or does that make you feel more caged? And I ask the same thing about diet. When you start choosing foods that you think are the healthy foods, do you feel more freed up or do you feel more restricted? Because minimalism is not about restriction, and in fact it's about feeling more free. I felt much more free when I reduced my closet size to just the clothes I loved and to an amount that supported my best life. Likewise, I felt more free when I actually eliminated foods that were making me feel sick. Animal products, processed foods, and I started choosing more whole foods. I felt much more free. And I wanted to bring that up because some people will talk about how eating a whole foods plant-based diet is restrictive. And for many people, including myself, I have found the opposite, that it's actually quite freeing. When you are choosing the right foods, as for example, you're choosing the right clothes for you, the right belongings, you may be choosing less types of food, but you're choosing the right foods. And these foods really can be very freeing because you're not worried about, am I eating too many calories? Am I eating the right foods? Am I going to get fat on this? Am I going to get too skinny on this? And right here in front of me, I have examples of what those foods are that I consider the right type of foods, the healthy type of foods, the minimalist type of foods. This is our breakfast. This is the breakfast for me and my sweetheart today. We have dragon fruit, we have some passion fruit juice, and we have watermelon. And these foods are whole, ripe, local foods that are grown here in Thailand. And what I would invite you to do is start looking at your foods and start buying foods that are whole and natural, foods that come from Mother Earth. When you do this, when you're choosing these kind of foods, you don't have to worry about how much of them you're eating because your body will tell you when you've had enough, as opposed to processed foods where it can be very hard to know when enough is enough. When you're eating these foods, again, you're freed up in terms of worrying about if you're getting enough nutrition, because these foods are nutrient dense and full of amazing minerals and vitamins. The second aspect is kind of related to the first aspect. The second reason how minimalism can up-level your health is the idea in minimalism about quality, choosing quality over quantity. But what I mean by that with food is that when you are choosing foods that are of higher quality, you actually don't need to eat as much. I want to be very clear. I am again, see point number one. I am not asking you to restrict how much you eat. I want you to eat as much as you want, but eating as much as you want of the quality foods, whole, natural, Mother Earth given foods. And when you do that, when you choose quality foods, your body's digestion increases amazingly. Your assimilation of your nutrients increase amazingly, and you just don't need as much. You feel full unless you're also eating higher fiber foods. These foods are all high in fiber. Again, this is not about restricting the amount you eat. Eat as much as you want, but choose quality over eating a bunch of food that is nutrient poor. So eating a lot of foods that are processed. Eat foods instead of higher quality. Higher quality also means to me eating seasonally and eating foods that are grown in the region, if possible, in which you're living. Obviously, if you're living in a climate that's very cold, in which you're not able to get fresh fruits, then this is not the case. But when you can, eating according to the seasons can be amazing. Mother Earth is extremely wise in terms of what foods are seasonal. When it's wintertime, citrus is in season. It's high in vitamin C, which is helpful for preventing the flu. That's just one example. So eating seasonally, eating organically, eating foods locally if possible. This is all signs of eating quality. Also, one thing, eating ripe foods, eating ripe fruits, extremely important in choosing quality. The third component of minimalism that you can extrapolate to diet that I think is wonderful is a seasonal detox or seasonal review. So it's super helpful when you're a minimalist and you're decluttering to every season, every few months, take a look at what you have and decide, is this still working for me? Does this still support my best life? And if it doesn't, you let it go with gratitude, like I've talked about in other videos, and you can check those out here or in the description down below. Do the same thing with your diet. I definitely believe that eating a plant-based, fruit and vegetable rich diet does serve us for the rest of our lives, but there are definitely some differences within that. So it's always good, and I find it to be really helpful to every few months take a look at how I'm eating and evaluate, is it working for me and what do I need to shift? So I'll give you an example. If I'm in a tropical place as I am right now, eating a bunch of tropical fruit that's available works really well for me. But I might go to a place soon where it's winter and the season is very different. And in those places, I tend to eat actually more greens, a lot more greens, and maybe a higher amount of healthy plant fats. So every few months, I invite you to take a look at how you're eating, what you're eating, and ask yourself, is it working for you? So doing a seasonal review, the same way you do that for your closet and for the rest, and for your belongings. The fourth way minimalism can really help to up-level your health and nutrition especially is in a way that might be a little bit more nuanced and not maybe as concrete, but it's no less powerful. And I want to share that with you today. When you are buying less and you are less involved in consuming and purchasing, a lot of us do that to distract ourselves from our emotions. And when you stop doing that or you greatly decrease that, your emotions come up. And it gives you this amazing opportunity to really start acknowledging, sitting with your emotions and releasing those emotions, especially difficult emotions that we often judge. I think this is one of the most under talked about but powerful benefits of minimalism is that there's less distraction and there's more of an opportunity to be aware of your emotions and manage them and learn from them. That invites more self-love. That invites more emotional resiliency. And when that happens, that translates to less emotional eating and stress eating. Many of us eat when we are stressed, when we have a lot of emotions we don't want to feel, we eat instead. And when you practice greater emotional resiliency by sitting with your emotions, by clearing out the space physically to do that, you make better food choices and you start eating when you have true hunger, not heart or mind hunger. The fifth way minimalism helps to up-level our nutrition and take our health to the next level, food-wise, is one that I love, which is mindful eating. Minimalism is all about mindfulness. It's all about intentionality around those things that you own and that which you want to experience. And I think that this is something that can be so helpful when it comes to nutrition. That every time you sit to a meal, every time you eat, that you are doing so mindfully. I have a video about mindful eating that I will put somewhere here in the description down below, but I'll spend more videos on that. And in fact, the next mindfulness video I do, the next minimalism video I do, will be a mukbang, which will be all about eating in front of you and showing you mindfulness eating techniques as I do so. So write in the comment down below if you're interested in that. I can't overstress mindful eating enough. I always say to my patients and clients, if there's one thing you do, please put off all distractions, put off the TV, close the computer screen, and sit with that which you're eating mindfully. Take the time to do that. Mindfulness is a big component of minimalism, and if you can do that with your food, you will find that you are making better food choices. You'll find that you're eating slower, which means that you're giving yourself time to know when you're full. You will find that your digestion is better, and you will assimilate again your nutrients better, and that translates to better nutrition, better health, healthier, happier body, healthier, happier you. And yeah, please give it a try. So to recap, the 5 ways that minimalism can help to take your nutrition to a better level, a higher level, are the following. Number 1, an increased sense of freedom around your food and around your food choices and around your relationship with food. Number 2, choosing quality food, seasonal, high in minerals and vitamins, Mother Earth's natural food. Number 3 is that minimalism also offers this opportunity for doing a seasonal review. Do a seasonal review of the diet. Ask yourself, is what I'm doing working for me, or are there ways I could tweak it to eat healthier? Number 4 is that minimalism allows for less distractions from our emotions. It gives us the opportunity to really sit with, acknowledge, honor, and release emotions. And that translates to much more healthy ways of eating. And number 5 is the mindfulness that comes with minimalism, and bringing that to your food, bringing that to your meal times, bringing pleasure back to eating through a mindful central practice. I hope these tips have been helpful, and I hope you have some delicious, nutritious meals today. Much love to you. The other thing about eating nutrient-dense, whole, natural foods from Mother Earth is that you just don't need as much stuff. You don't need tons of pots, or any, especially if you're eating raw. You don't need a lot of accoutrements. This is breakfast, and all we're using are a spoon each, a knife, and that's it. No cleanup time. This is going to go into the compost. It's a lighter imprint on the earth, and it's just less wahala, as we say. There's just less having to do things. So I love that about eating this way. Taste test. Whoa. It's so juicy and sweet, something between apple, pear, lime. It's dragon fruit, it's its own thing, but it's the texture with all the crunchy seeds is so pleasant, and the flesh itself is succulent, and I wish I could share this with you. Happy eating.